So today we're doing kind of like a sewing 101. I am showing you the basic tips and tricks for sewing by hand for beginners. And I will also be showing you how to make this pillow. So for this project, you're going to need scissors, a needle and thread, fabric, some stuffing. So you're going to take your fabric and you're going to figure out kind of what size pillow you want. I'm just going to do a small pillow about this big, so I'm going to need double that in fabric. So I'm actually going to fold my fabric over, and you're going to make it just a little bit bigger than you actually want it to be. It's all cut out. Let me just show you kind of what I got. Just a little rectangle of fabric. Fold it over, I get just a small little head-sized pillow for my doll. Okay, so now you're going to take your needle and thread, and I'm using a darker blue than the fabric, so you'll be able to kind of see a little bit better. The thread is still on the spool. I'm going to take the end of it. It's really hard for you guys to see that, isn't it? Okay. Take it, and I'm going to wet it in my mouth just because it makes it a little bit easier to get through that itsy bitsy hole there. Okay, just take it and put it through the itty bitty hole. Steady hands. There you go. And now it's through. See? And now I'm going to take it and I'm going to double the string up until I've got, this is probably about a foot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the string at the end while holding both ends. And now I am going to straighten the string out. I'm going to take this as the end. I'm going to take it and wrap it in a circle. And my finger's still in there. I'm going to grab that piece and pull it out. And now I've got this itsy bitsy little knot. Barely see it. I'm going to do that again. I'm just going to keep on tying knots and try to keep it in the same area, which it takes practice. But eventually you'll get a bigger knot. See that knot right there? See, it's pretty big. I'm going to do one more tie. There. Pretty big knot. And so now I've got my needle on my thread. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fabric. You can see it's got like this shiny, the inside does not. I'm going to flip it so the inside, the outside of the pillow is the inside, because we want to try and hide our stitches as much as possible. Where I can fold, the way I cut it out, like as a rectangle, when I fold it, I don't have to sew this one side, so it saves you from having to sew one side. And so to begin sewing, all you're going to do is put the needle through the fabric and pull. And then this is like a classic in and out stitch. You're just going to put the needle back in the fabric and pull out. And then you get a stitch like that. I'm going to do that a couple more times. Now it's on the back side. See how the string is coming out of the back. I'm going to go back in. And then every once in a while you're going to want to tie a knot. And that just strengthens your stitch. And how you do that is, just went through, I'm going to push back up. I'm going to take my needle and swoop it underneath that stitch that I had just made. And then I'm just going to tie it through. And then go back under. I'm going to stop before all that fabric's gone through, and I'm going to put my needle underneath it, and I'll make a little knot. And that way, if any of these stitchings break, it's not going to affect the rest of your stitching. So I'm going to continue going back and forth like that and tying a knot every few for the entire length. This is kind of a shortcut where you push it in and then up like that, and then you just pull it through. And you don't get as neat of stitches when you do it this way, but alright, I got this entire side of the pillow done. And my stitchings are not that great looking. You see it on the other side. But that's okay. We're not going for perfection here. So now I'm going to start up at the top, and I'm going to just do the same thing. I'm just going to change the direction I'm sewing in. Okay, my string is getting rather short, and I've only got one side left to sew on my pillow. So I am going to tie like a quadruple knot. Just a really strong knot here. And now I'm going to cut it off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip it right side out. And if you look, you can kind of see where the stitches are, but not much. You can see a little bit of the blue thread, but if you use a thread that matches the color of your fabric better than I did, it'll blend really well, and you really won't see it that much. So now you're going to take your stuffing and stuff it in. Make sure you get it into those corners. Now I'm going to put my string, another load of string onto my needle. And now what we're going to do is take the ends of our fabric, put them together, and I'm going to use a different stitch on this one. You can use the in and out stitch if you want. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it through just like we did before, and I'm going to go, instead of going back down through the top, you see how the string's coming out? Instead of going down through it, I'm just going to go back to the bottom and then go up again. This time you can really see the stitches. And it doesn't look quite as nice. And there you have it. A little pillow that you could use for pretty much anything. You could use it for your dolls, your Barbies, your stuffed animals, you can make smaller ones for your smaller toys like Littlest Pet Shop. So tune in next week and we should be showing you some of the new dolls that we received for birthday/Christmas presents. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment.